Did you guys hear that? Oh, weird. It's never done that before. Okay, so that was the beginning of the call. Everyone knows it's being recorded now. Okay, so I wanted to this is gonna be really basic stuff, but I mean, what we do is basic and simple, but I just wanted to lay a foundation of how we need to take care of our customers and our coaches. And that, like, the coach aspect will kind of change a little bit. So this is just kind of new people that sign up, whether they are a coach or a customer. It obviously will apply to both. But we had a lot of enrollments last week with our flash sale. So I thought this is probably the perfect timing. Everyone's kind of new and getting some new people in. What do we do next? Okay. So I signed someone up. Now what? And ultimately, before I really go through my bullet points here, just be a nice friend, but also remember that they signed up with you to be their coach. And sometimes that's tricky in the beginning, especially when it's a lot of friends or family. So I still kind of deal with that. Like, I probably don't check in with my mom or, about like Beachbody stuff related. But for the most part, remember, they want a coach. And the longer I've been in this, the longer that I take that part of my job very seriously. And I want to take care of them. And the more that you do, ultimately, the longer that you're going to keep those customers, as returning customers over and over, which helps them, it helps you, it helps your business, everything. So I just kind of jotted down some things. I was trying to think through, what do I do? And number one, right after they pay, be super excited for them. And not in a way that's like, yay, I got Success Club points, or, oh, yay, I'm going to make money off of that. But like, they are starting this journey. Be so excited for them. Be proud of them, because some people, this is really hard for them to say yes to, I mean, you probably have already experienced that. Like, some people take years, is what I've experienced, before they are literally just brave enough or get past the fears or whatever's holding them back. So first and foremost, just like, be so excited for them, cheer them on, yay, like, say that to them. I always do now. And then I don't know, depending on how you want to run things, like, none of this is right or wrong. This is just kind of things that I do. But I love shouting them out on my stories. And I don't see like tons of coaches doing that, but I have noticed that the people that I shout out, they always add it to their story and they get really excited. So they're excited to share it. So show, like, I'm excited. So, I mean, that's not like you have to do that, but I started doing it, and it makes me even more excited for them. And then they add it to their story and they're like, yay, I'm starting, So even that is kind of spreading the word already for their friends. Like, you never know who might see that, whatever. And I will say, this is actually sort of a side note for a BOD group. I always want to shout the people out in our BOD group, but they don't always accept the invite right away. So that might be something at the end we can maybe chat about if anyone has ideas. I think it's important to shout them out in there, but I haven't for a really long time, because then, like, they finally do accept it and they're not really new anymore, or they never accepted it. And so I'm not sure about what to do with that. Also, if they're a coach, always feel free to shout them out on our team page. We want to welcome them. This is a community, even though it's all virtual. Okay, so next, you need to tell them. And I just say, your first step is to download the Beachbody On Demand app. That's where our group is going to be. That's where you'll track your workouts and your shakes. And just keep it simple like that. I try to not overwhelm them with 100 million things. Like, here's where the nutrition is, and here's where this is, and you need to do this, because they won't remember it anyways. But they need that app downloaded, because a lot of them won't use that for the workouts. But if we don't tell them right away, they're not even going to realize that's where the group is. And And I still have people that they've been with me for a year and they're like, I really just need a community to check in with and accountability. And I'm like, we have that. Like, it's because you never downloaded the app, so you don't see it. So that's just a little side note, but make sure that they know that it's there. And if they're wondering, you can always do screenshots, show them where the group is, show them that the tracking is separate. But that's kind of that first step. And then, so I said, tell them that. And then don't forget to actually send them the invite to the BOD group. And if you don't know how to do that, you can message me. I think a lot of us have walked through how to do that at this point. And if you have your own BOD group, then I can still show you how to do that, but I can't make you an admin. You'll already be an admin. Anyways, okay, then this one, the next thing that I do is I set a reminder in Asana, ASANA, that's like an app and it's a website. I use that for everything, tasks, follow-ups, these reminders, checking in with our challengers, all of that. So I set a reminder in Asana for 3 weeks from now, or if you want to do it backwards, a week from when their shake is going to renew. So the way that you know when it's going to renew is it's today's date a month later. I don't even know what today is, the 20th, 21st. So 20th. So someone signed up today. So I put in their name in the task and I say Shako renews June 20th. And then I put the reminder date like a week before. You can pick whatever you want to do. I just do a week. That gives them plenty of time to decide if they're going to cancel it or if they're ready to become a discount coach. So we're not going to go deep into that, but that is a step that I do. It's not required as a coach, but I've gotten screwed over a lot. Brianna experienced that recently. A lot of times people don't remember to cancel the shake if they don't want it again. And then if you don't have a lot of other orders coming through, it deducts that from you. So say they forget and then it renews and you're like, oh, cool, they wanted to renew. You make commission off of that, but then they return it and then it deducts the commission, deducts the volume, and then you could be in the hole. So it's really not fun to see that. And I've seen it a lot. So even when you remind them, sometimes they forget. But it's still, I feel like, I don't know if I'll do that forever. I'll let you know if I ever quit doing it. But for now, it's also just this perfect segue into, have you been enjoying it? Here's how we become a discount coach, because they have 30 days to enroll in that for free. They would pay the $40 and they get refunded for that challenge pack purchase. So, and if you're not sure how to do that, I think I wrote that down. I guess I can just share it because I know we'll have a lot of new people watching this. So if you don't know this, I know Randy knows because she did this, but if your client buys a challenge pack, they have 30 days. If they decided they want to come back and become a coach or a discount member, they still pay the $40 coach enrollment fee, but then they fill out a super easy form. It's so fast, and it just proves that they bought a challenge pack, and then Beachbody refunds them that $40 coach sign-up fee. But it has to be done by that 30 days, by that date. It would be the same time that their shake renews and everything. Otherwise, they can still enroll as a coach later, but they will they'll have to pay the $40. So if they're looking to save money, that's not the best way to go. And then if you need help finding those forms or whatever, just let me know. I did write how to do that, but yeah, just let me know if you don't know how to do that later. But it's a great way with that reminder 3 weeks out. It's a great way to have time to talk about that as just a natural offering. They need to know that's an option, because again, you never know who's going to end up doing it, using it, needing it, enjoying it, whatever. Okay. So, and somewhere in your conversation, you might have done this before they even signed up, but at some point you want to make sure that you know if they have specific goals. You want to know if they're you know, if they need help with nutrition, or if they are really trying to work on weight loss, or I don't even know, I can't even think of other examples. Some people were trying to muscle build or whatever. Make sure that you know, and maybe they don't have specific goals, but make sure that you know that, because some clients are just going to come in and they're just going to want to do the workouts and sort of be left alone. Some clients have big goals to fit in a bikini next year for the cruise. And so I'm going to stay on top of them and make sure that they really understand the nutrition. They really know what they're doing. They're really drinking their shake, because I want to help her get those goals. And I know that she's going to feel good if she hits that. And I want her to be able to wear her bikini and feel good in it. So it's just important to have that conversation. Okay. The other thing that I used to always forget, I honestly still do a lot, is to remind them to take before pictures and measurements, because they will want to look back on it. And a lot of people don't want to do that when they first start. They're very embarrassed or, you know, uncomfortable. Even if they don't share it with anyone, they really don't want to do that. So just encourage them, like, just take a quick picture. It doesn't have to be like professional, all sides, whatever. Just snap a picture in the mirror so that you have something, and then don't look at it. You know, you can tell them whatever. And there are, honestly, if you just go to YouTube, there are instructions for both taking pictures, talking about lighting and distance away and things like that, and like having a blank background. There's some really basic tips. If you go to YouTube and probably just even type in like how to take a before and after picture, and also how to take measurements. And there are some by Beachbody, I'm pretty sure, that pull up. And that might be something that you save on the notes app in your phone, so that you could give them, not everybody's going to ask for that, but if you had it, you know, that would just be kind of something. But yeah, I still need to remember that one, because it seems like I remember it with certain people, or then I'll remember 2 weeks in and I'm like, did you take a before picture? And they're like, no. And I'm like, they've already lost 10 pounds. So I'm like, take one now. Okay. Moving on. From the beginning, when I was a new coach, of course, you don't have as many customers coming in. I don't know. Maybe I checked on them even more often than I should, but as a rule, I checked on everybody once a week. And eventually that is going to get too much. Like at this point, it's not possible. So I check on the newer people, like from this year, every week. And if I know certain people like always respond and need it, there are some people that you can just feel it out, or if they're really active in the BOD group and you feel like you've talked to them already, you probably don't need to check in with them. If they're, you know, we have a lot of posts where they're being really open and honest about their nutrition or about how their week went, and then we're replying and everyone's listening. So sometimes, I mean, I'll still check in with them, but maybe just not as often, because you're in communication with them. It's just the whole point. So maybe every week or every other week. And also in Asana, you can set, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but you can set it to repeat like however often you want. So periodically, weekly, on a certain day. So it makes it really easy for you if you use that. But when, I didn't write this down, but when I do check in with them, it's also tricky because some people, when they kind of fall away or life gets busy or, you know, things like that happen, sometimes they ignore you and ghost you or totally disappear for a year. And I don't, if that happens, I don't check in with them every week, but I still keep it at about once a month and just say, hey, how's it going? I have people, that haven't answered me for months and months. But like I said at the beginning, I take my job seriously and I am committed to them for that year. Whether they're committed to their journey or not, I'm committed to it. And that's one of those things that you can kind of feel out, because, you know, if it's been like 10 months and they're not answering, like, maybe it's okay to not text them again, whatever. But just keep that in mind, that our job is the coach, and then it's their job. Like, we can't force them to do it, just like anything. We can't force them to eat the salad, and we can't force them to push play on their workout. But we are like professional cheerleaders and encouragers. And sometimes, like, maybe don't check in about their workouts every time. How's life? How are you doing? Have you been busy at work? Go to their profile page and like snoop a little and see if you can, maybe they had a loss in the family, or, there's all kinds of things that end up happening where people don't reply. And yeah, I take that part very important. That did not make sense. Very seriously. It's very important to me. Okay. And then I wrote down coach them. And this is something that you might not feel like you're a coach yet. Something, like you kind of have to find your own voice as the kind of coach that you are and that you want to be. So some of that will just sort of come with time, and it will come with talking to those people, and feeling out. The more that you do it, the more I notice, especially this past year for myself, sometimes I'm like, who am I? Because I used to actually not be direct at all. And I was like very soft and wishy-washy and like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, that sounds so hard. And now I'm like, you signed up for that. I'm not that mean, but I'm a little bit more straightforward with like, hey, you have these goals, keep going, And so, and sometimes that's hard. Again, it depends on the person who you're talking to. I have kind of a different voice with certain people, but remember that they chose you as their coach, and they saw that in you, that they felt like they needed for themselves to push them, encourage them, inspire them, like whatever it was. So don't worry about being pushy, and ultimately stay accountable with them. So, I think it's totally okay to be honest with them. Like, when you're struggling, I have been a lot lately, or when when you've been craving a lot and you really don't want to follow your meal plan, and maybe you fell off your meal plan or whatever, maybe you just gave up for 2 weeks and you didn't show up. Be honest, like, it's okay, because we're not trying to be better than anybody. In the beginning, we just are asking other people to come on this journey with us, not to follow us or not for us or whatever. So I don't know. I just think honesty and being real is probably the biggest encouragement and accountability for them, because they know that you're going through it too, and it makes you more relatable. So along with this, be sure that you are continuing to show up in your bod group, whether it's ours or your own. Make sure that you are being an example, with your workout. And obviously it's like, everyone, you guys know, I'm not saying like you have to be perfect and never ever skip or whatever, but you should be a presence that they see consistently as their coach and as a leader. And because you committed to this journey too, so they want to see you and do it. There are a lot of days where, and I know I've said this before probably, but the only reason I'm showing up is because I'm the coach in the group. Like, maybe that sounds bad, but sometimes I'm like, I wouldn't have shown up if I wasn't the coach right now. But that is why, like, I'm so much more consistent. I have, like, that's the ultimate accountability. And I kind of lost my train of thought there. Anyways, make sure that you are, commenting on their posts and encouraging them, and also adding value to that. Like, if it's your group, giving them motivation and stuff like that. Okay, I'm almost done actually. Let me make sure. So I kind of said this a minute ago about coaching them, but something else that I've had to learn is, well, for one, really listen. And, you might not always be able to solve their problem, but really listen and really think creatively how you could help them. This was also something else that I didn't used to do. I don't know why. Again, I would just sympathize with everybody, but that wasn't helping them, you know? And again, they wanted me as their coach, not as like a sympathetic friend who just gives them virtual hugs and does nothing. So lately, if I have someone, like actually the last 2 days, I've had probably 3 or 4 people who are like, I can't find motivation to work out. I'm so tired when I get home and I can't push play. And yeah, life is so hard and that sucks. But what do we have? What products do we have? What tools do we have? You know, maybe that night they just need to do a meditation. Maybe they need to try Energize and see how alive they can come to life when they just drink the Energize, push play, and make themselves do it. Because, I mean, we're all tired and we're all busy in different ways. But so don't let their excuses be an excuse. And just you will learn the more that you do this. But like I said, think creatively. What do we have from Beachbody that can help them? And if you don't know, go to teambeachbody.com and go shopping. Just look around at everything that we have. Because even this week, I'm finishing up the Ultimate Reset for the second time. And I never read what the supplements were. This time I read them and I'm like, holy cow, these are so amazing. So I just ordered like the maintenance kit, and it's like the deeper into it you get and the deeper that understanding of what we have and like how good and like the great quality that it is and everything like that, the more that you will fall in love with it, the more that you will believe in it, and then the more that you can help them, and to, you know, also for them to see what we have and to believe in it also. But seriously, I'm like my best customer, because I'm like, I was reading about it and I don't need to go into the details, but I'm like, wow, I should have been taking these. I have all these digestive issues, and it like helps something about flora and helps break down nutrients and all these things that my body's not doing. I'm like, I could have just been buying these supplements. So go shopping and see what we have and see if any of that could help solve their problem. And I used to always, I think that's probably why I didn't do it, because I'm like, well, I'm not going to be a product pusher. And like, I don't know where I even got that term, but I'm just seeing like that wasn't me fully believing in what we have and what we do. And now, you know, now I'm realizing why they have those supplements and why they have Energize and why they have Shakeology. And then there's like a ton of other stuff. We have like a multivitamin and like all kinds of random stuff. I have one person who only buys the multivitamin every month. It's like the funniest thing ever. I'm like, anyway, I'm getting off track. Okay, what is the last thing? Keep the excitement going by continuing to reach out to more people. So this was another mistake that I made early on, is that I was like, yay, like I got some people started. And then I kind of, I don't know if I stopped, but I really slowed down on inviting and on searching for new people, because I'm like, okay, like I have a group going and they're going to be with me forever and it's going to be so amazing. And some of them have been with me the whole time, but not everyone is going to. And then also what happened was you kind of lose that energy yourself. So it's all this cycle and this snowball effect that you can do for yourself. And I feel like I've been learning that the past, I don't know, year, 6 months, something, that the more new conversations I send, the more invites I can send, the more people are watching my stories. Ultimately, the more people are signing up. Then the more excitement I have, because then I'm so excited because all these people are starting and all these people are seeing results, and it like builds and builds. And so then I'm just signing up more people and helping more people, and I'm not worrying about Success Club anymore. And I'm not, I'm not stressing out about how I'm going to build my business, because it's just naturally happening. But but you can create that, right? Like with just staying consistent with all those things on the tracker ultimately. So that's like, I feel like I'm getting off track, but that excitement stays, and also that excitement stays in your bod group, because people are all really excited for about 2 weeks, and then life happens, you know, things get hard, that newness wears off, and then they sometimes fall away, or they stop working out, or they stop logging or whatever. And that can get really discouraging. And I know I've had a lot of times and a lot of seasons in my group where I felt like it was dead. I wasn't excited to show up in my group. And so why was anyone else excited to show up in there? And it was like a thorn in my side to be running this challenge group, which sounds so sad. But ultimately that's on me. So create that, whatever you want it to be like. But back to my point, the more new people that you're drawing in, the more that excitement and that hype stays high. And it also helps the older people, because then everyone's excited and it's just so good. Okay, that is actually all. Wait, I had one more thing. Did it not save? I was going to talk about something, but I don't know if it's saved. Sorry, let me just shoot. Oh, it is right there. Okay, this is a side note about our coach sneak peek group. So I'm not thinking about running a new one. Maybe we will soon. I haven't thought about that yet, but I was thinking about, I am going to pretend like we're running our coach sneak peek next week, and I'm gonna start, I hate using the word advertise, but I'm going to start really talking about coaching in my stories. Okay, and I'm saying this because I am really not good at remembering to do this. I'm always talking about my workouts, always talking about our group, but I should always be talking about both. But anyways, so I'm going to like heavily focus on that the rest of this week and over the weekend. And then I'm going to be putting up polls like, do you want to check out our coach sneak peek? Because we still have all the videos in there. It's just not live. It's still all the same info. So I'm going to be doing that. So I'm just letting you know that if you want to do that, it's smart to be kind of like make that commitment that you're going to do it, and then make your list and set a goal. Like, how many people do you want to try to add to get in there or something, 5 or 10 or 1. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that as a reminder for myself. And if we all do it, maybe it will be exciting because there will be a lot of new people in there. And then as a side note, I know like Tina and Robert aren't on our team, but as far as our team goes, we are starting another Let's Get Up round on Monday. And if you are in that and you want to help participate or help with the posts, not just participate, let me know. And then we will also be kicking off a new bod group in June. I think we'll just talk more about that later. But I just wanted to open that up, that other people are welcome to help with that, to plan posts. It's really easy. Or make your own bod group and I can help you, or I can even be in it with you for a while, whatever. So, okay, I am going to snap a picture. Let me make this bigger. Just so, oh,